The unexpected visitor Commander Sarah Chen floated through the observation deck of Horizon Watch, humanity's most distant monitoring station. The massive structure orbited Neptune in the cold darkness of the outer solar system, its sensors constantly scanning the void for anything unusual. Sarah had commanded this station for 3 years, and in all that time, the most exciting thing they had detected was a rogue comet. That was about to change forever. The station housed a crew of 12 specialists, but tonight only 4 were on duty. Dr. Marcus Webb sat at his console analyzing radio signals from distant galaxies. Lieutenant Alex Rodriguez monitored the tactical systems that never had anything to detect. Engineer Zoe Mitchell worked on repairs to the station's aging power grid. It was supposed to be a quiet night shift. Sarah checked the chronometer on her wrist. 3 more hours until the day crew arrived. She was looking forward to her coffee and a good book when the universe decided to turn everything upside down. The first sign was a low hum that seemed to come from everywhere at once. Sarah felt it in her bones before she heard it with her ears. The station's lights flickered and several alarms began to sound. "What's happening?" Sarah called out, pushing off from the observation window toward the main control center. Zoe was already at her station, her fingers flying over the controls. "Power surge from an external source. Something big just appeared in our sensor range." Dr. Webb's face had gone pale as he stared at his displays. "Commander, you need to see this. The energy signature is unlike anything in our database." Sarah anchored herself next to Webb's console and looked at the readings. The numbers made no sense. Whatever was out there was generating more power than Earth's sun. "Are the sensors malfunctioning?" "I ran diagnostics twice. Everything's working perfectly." Webb's voice was tight with excitement and fear. "Commander, this energy signature is artificial. It's a ship." Lieutenant Rodriguez had activated the station's defensive systems, though everyone knew they were little more than early warning devices. "Visual contact in 30 seconds. Bringing it up on the main screen." The viewing screen flickered to life, showing the starfield beyond Neptune. At first, Sarah saw nothing unusual. Then the computer highlighted the contact and her breath caught in her throat. The ship was enormous, easily 10 times the size of Horizon Watch. Its hull was a deep purple color that seemed to absorb light, rather than reflect it. Strange geometric patterns covered its surface, glowing with an inner light that pulsed like a heartbeat. It moved through space with impossible grace, its passage creating ripples in space-time that their sensors could detect. "My God," Webb whispered. "It's beautiful." "It's also heading straight for us," Rodriguez added, his military training keeping him focused on the tactical situation. Sarah activated the station's communication array. "Unknown vessel, this is Commander Sarah Chen of the Terran Monitoring Station Horizon Watch. Please identify yourself and state your intentions." For a long moment, there was only silence. Then the comm system crackled to life with a voice that was clearly artificial yet somehow conveying great intelligence and authority. "Greetings, humans of the third planet. I am Archon Kelvar of the Caltharian Empire. Your species has been observed." The 4 humans exchanged glances. First contact protocols had been established decades ago, but nobody had really expected to use them. Sarah took a deep breath and activated the recording systems. Every word of this conversation would be studied by experts for years to come. "Welcome to our solar system, Archon Kelvar. We are honored by your visit. How may we assist you?" "Assistance is not required. This is a formal notification. Your species has reached a critical point in its development. The Caltharian Empire has monitored your progress for what you would call centuries." Webb was frantically working at his console, trying to analyze the alien transmission. He caught Sarah's eye and mouthed language translation matrix while pointing at his screen. Somehow the aliens were speaking perfect English. "What kind of critical point?" Sarah asked, though she suspected she didn't want to know the answer. "Your species demonstrates unusual potential for both creation and destruction. Your technological advancement proceeds at an unprecedented rate. Your expansion into space has begun. Most concerning is your species' unpredictable nature." "Zoe." had been quietly running sensor sweeps of the alien vessel. She looked up with wide eyes and shook her head. The ship's technology was so far beyond human understanding that their sensors could barely detect its basic functions. "What does this mean for humanity?" Sarah asked. "The Caltherian Empire has existed for 12,000 of your years. We have encountered 1,847 species that have achieved spaceflight. Of these, 1,203 have joined the Empire peacefully. 644 have been pacified." The word pacified hung in the air like a death sentence. Sarah felt her mouth go dry. "And what determines which category a species falls into?" "Compatibility with imperial order, the ability to follow established protocols, predictable behavior patterns. Your species demonstrates concerning irregularities in all these areas." Rodriguez had been running tactical analysis on the alien ship. The results were not encouraging. The vessel's defensive capabilities alone could probably destroy every military installation in the solar system. Its weapon systems were beyond human comprehension. "What do you want from us?" Sarah asked. "This is not about what the Empire wants. This is about what your species must prove. You have been granted a testing period of 18 standard months. During this time, you must demonstrate that humanity can coexist with imperial order. And if we fail this test?" There was a pause that seemed to last forever. "Then your species will be classified as a threat to galactic stability and dealt with accordingly." Dr. Webb leaned forward. "What exactly do we need to prove?" "That you can overcome your chaotic nature. That your unpredictability can be channeled constructively rather than destructively. That you can unite as a species rather than fragment into competing factions." The alien ship began to move, positioning itself between Neptune and the Sun. Suddenly, the planet's rotation began to slow, not dramatically, but enough that their instruments could detect the change. The aliens were manipulating Neptune's gravitational field as easily as a human might spin a basketball on their finger. "This is a demonstration of our capabilities," Archon Kelvar explained. "We could accelerate your planet's rotation instead, or alter its orbit. We could redirect your asteroid belt or extinguish your sun. We choose not to do these things because we hope your species can prove worthy of continued existence." After exactly 60 seconds, Neptune's rotation returned to normal. The casual display of power was more terrifying than any weapon could have been. "How will you judge our worthiness?" Sarah asked. "We will observe. We will test." When 18 months have passed, representatives of the Empire will return. You will be given an opportunity to demonstrate what you have learned. Your response will determine your fate. What kind of test? That will be revealed at the appropriate time. Use these months wisely, humans. Prove that chaos can become order. Prove that your unpredictability is a strength rather than a weakness. Prove that you deserve to continue existing in this galaxy. The alien ship began to fade from their sensors, not by moving away but by somehow existing less solidly. It was still there but becoming translucent, ghostly. "Wait," Sarah called out. "We need more information. We need guidance." "You need nothing but what you already possess: intelligence, creativity, the ability to adapt. Use these gifts or perish." The ship vanished completely, leaving only empty space and the four humans staring at each other in shock. After several minutes of stunned silence, Dr. Webb spoke up. "Did that really just happen?" Sarah was already activating the emergency communication array. "Zoe, I need a priority channel to Earth Command. Alex, start preparing a full tactical report. Marcus, analyze everything we recorded. We have 18 months to save humanity." "No pressure," Rodriguez muttered, but he was already working at his console. As Sarah waited for the communication link to Earth to establish, she looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Caltherian Empire was watching, waiting to see if humanity could prove itself worthy of survival. The thought was terrifying and strangely inspiring at the same time. Humans had always been good at proving people wrong. Maybe they could prove an entire galactic empire wrong too. The comm system crackled to life. "Horizon Watch, this is Earth Command. We're receiving your emergency signal." Sarah took a deep breath. "Earth Command, this is Commander Chen. We've had first contact. and I'm afraid it's not the friendly greeting we were hoping for. As she began to relay the alien message to Earth, Sarah couldn't help but wonder what the next 18 months would bring. Whatever happened, humanity was about to face its greatest challenge. The question was whether they could rise to meet it. Humanity's response president Maria Santos had been in office for 2 years, but nothing had prepared her for this moment. The emergency meeting of the Global Defense Council had been called within hours of receiving Commander Chen's report from Horizon Watch. Representatives from every major nation sat around the table in the secure conference room beneath Geneva, their faces reflecting the same mix of fear and determination that Maria felt. "Let me make sure I understand this correctly," said General Robert Hayes, the Council's military coordinator. "We have 18 months to prove we're worthy of continued existence to an alien empire that has eliminated 644 other species." Dr. Elena Vasquez, the Council's chief science advisor, nodded grimly. "The Caltherian Empire has been watching us for centuries. They've judged us to be chaotic and unpredictable. Apparently, these are bad things in their view. Maybe that's exactly what we need to be," said Director James Liu of the Global Intelligence Agency. "If they expect us to be predictable, perhaps our best strategy is to be anything but." Maria looked around the table at the assembled leaders. For the first time in human history, every nation on Earth was working together toward a common goal. The alien threat had accomplished what decades of diplomacy could not. "What do we know about their technology?" she asked. Dr. Vasquez consulted her tablet. "Based on the sensor data from Horizon Watch, their capabilities are far beyond ours. They manipulated Neptune's gravitational field like it was a toy. Their ship appears to use some form of space-time manipulation for both propulsion and defense. Can we fight them?" General Hayes asked the question everyone was thinking. "With conventional weapons? No. Their technology is thousands of years ahead of ours, but that doesn't mean we're helpless." Dr. Vasquez brought up a holographic display showing the alien ship's energy patterns. "I've been studying their power signatures. There are some interesting anomalies. Captain David Park, recently promoted to head the new Deep Space Reconnaissance Division, leaned forward. "What kind of anomalies?" "Their technology appears to be based on order and predictability. Perfect mathematical patterns. Absolute precision. It's incredibly advanced, but it's also incredibly rigid." Maria began to see where this was going. And humans are anything but rigid. Exactly. Our greatest weakness in their eyes might actually be our greatest strength. Dr. Vasquez changed the display to show human technological development over the past century. "Look at how we innovate. We take wild leaps. We make intuitive connections. We solve problems in ways that defy logic." Director Liu had been studying intelligence reports from around the globe. "There's something else. In the past week, we've detected unusual activity at several historical sites. Stonehenge, the pyramids, Machu Picchu. It's subtle, but there are energy signatures consistent with the alien technology. They've been monitoring us for centuries," Maria said. "They probably have observation posts hidden all over Earth." General Hayes stood up and began pacing. "So they've been watching us, judging us, and now they want to test us. The question is, what kind of test are they planning?" Dr. Vasquez had been working on this question for days. "Based on their comments about chaos and unpredictability, I think they want to see if we can work together as a unified species. Every other species they've encountered has probably been more homogeneous than humans. Most species probably don't have hundreds of different languages, cultures, and belief systems," agreed Captain Park. Maria felt a spark of hope. "So our diversity might actually be an advantage." "It could be. If we can show them that chaos and order can coexist, that unpredictability can be channeled constructively, we might have a chance." The next few months were unlike anything in human history. Every nation on Earth contributed resources to what became known as the Unity Project. Scientists collaborated across all boundaries, sharing knowledge that had been classified for decades. Military forces trained together, combining tactics and strategies from every corner of the globe. Dr. Vasquez led a team of researchers working on what they called the Chaos Engine, a theoretical framework for using human unpredictability as a form of technology. Instead of trying to eliminate randomness from their systems, they embraced it, creating machines that could adapt and improvise. Captain Park commanded a fleet of modified spacecraft that began patrolling the outer solar system. They couldn't match alien technology, but they developed new tactics based on human creativity and unpredictability. Instead of fighting in formation, they moved like schools of fish, appearing and disappearing in patterns that even they couldn't predict. Meanwhile, teams of anthropologists and psychologists worked to understand what made humans unique. They studied every culture on Earth, looking for the common threads that connected all of humanity despite their differences. "We're not trying to become like them," Dr. Vasquez explained to the Global Defense Council during one of their regular briefings. "We're trying to show them that there's value in being different." The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Dr. Sarah Kim, a child psychologist from Seoul, was studying human creativity when she made a startling discovery. "Children's play behavior," she announced to the assembled scientists. "That's the key." "What do you mean?" asked Dr. Vasquez. "Watch children play. They create rules, then break them. They build something, then tear it down and build something completely different. They cooperate, then compete, then cooperate again. It's chaos, but it's productive chaos." Maria understood immediately. "You're saying that our unpredictability isn't random, it's creative." "Exactly. Human chaos isn't destruction. It's innovation. It's adaptation. It's art and music and poetry and science all rolled into one." This insight led to the development of the demonstration protocol. Instead of trying to prove they were orderly, humanity would show the aliens what controlled chaos could accomplish. Artists from around the world collaborated on massive projects that combined order and randomness. Musicians created symphonies that used mathematical precision and wild improvisation. Engineers built structures that were both functional and impossible, defying conventional logic while serving their purpose perfectly. The most ambitious project was the construction of what they called the Harmony Station. Built in Earth's orbit, using resources from every nation, it was part space station, part art installation, part scientific laboratory. Its design incorporated elements from every human culture, creating something that was chaotic and beautiful and completely functional. Captain Park's reconnaissance fleet made an important discovery during the 15th month of the countdown. They detected a small alien probe near Saturn, obviously observing human activities. "They're watching our preparations," Park reported to the Defense Council. "Good. Let them see what we're capable of." As the 18-month deadline approached, humanity made its final preparations. Every person on Earth had been involved in some way. Children had drawn pictures, artists had created masterpieces, scientists had pushed the boundaries of knowledge, engineers had built impossible things, musicians had composed new forms of music that no one had ever imagined. Most importantly, humanity had done something that apparently no other species in the galaxy had managed. They had remained united while staying diverse. They had embraced their differences instead of trying to eliminate them. 3 days before the deadline, the alien ships returned. Not just one this time, but dozens. They took position throughout the solar system, their dark purple hulls gleaming with that strange inner light. The communication came directly to every device on Earth simultaneously. Archon Kelvar's voice spoke in every human language at once, a demonstration of their technological superiority that was both impressive and terrifying. "Humans of Earth, the testing period has concluded. Prepare for evaluation." President Santos stood in the command center of Harmony Station, surrounded by representatives from every nation on Earth. Below them, the planet turned slowly, peaceful and beautiful, and utterly unique in the galaxy. "We're ready," she said simply. "Are you?" came the reply. "We shall see." The test was about to begin, and humanity's fate hung in the balance. But for the first time since receiving the alien ultimatum, Maria Santos felt genuinely hopeful. They had spent 18 months proving to themselves what they were capable of when they worked together. Now it was time to prove it to the galaxy. Whatever the aliens had planned, humanity would face it the same way they had faced every challenge throughout their history. Together, creatively, and with the kind of stubborn determination that had carried them from caves to the stars. The Caltharian Empire was about to learn what it really meant to be human,